Hello everyone, my name is the Mad Scorpion and welcome back to another Xur Reset update for another Friday, this one being the end of January on the 31st. Going into his stock, there is actually some very good items I'd recommend anyone getting if they somehow don't have them. The first being the Izanagi's Burden Catalyst, which essentially just makes the gun plain better. If you don't know how Izanagi's Burden works, essentially you'll consume the rounds in the magazine to make a one more powerful shot. Think what Celestial Nighthawk does. The difference with the Catalyst, it makes it so that when you have all 4 rounds combined, instead of being a ×4, it's more like a ×6. So it is just plain more damage, more of a benefit. Would definitely recommend for anyone that loves Izanagi's or is looking for a good damage weapon. Next is the Arbalest Catalyst, which it is a good catalyst. It functions around what Arbalest does, but that's also if you use Arbalest. And then again, it's already really good at breaking energy shields, so it's just kind of basically, since it doesn't really match any sort of energy type, it's basically just a reload when you break a shield. Which is summarily good, but in the end, is it really necessary? No. Next, into armor, there is the Assassin's Cowl, where any powered melee kills and finishers will grant invisibility and healing. A lot of people like to pair this with arc builds, combination blow, or just a nice throwing knife and, invisibility, but a lot of people use this for more endgame dungeon content like solo dungeons, raids, and, oh crap scenarios, but I would definitely recommend this one, in addition to the next one, the Ursa Furiosa, which if you don't know how it works, basically, when you are using the Unbreakable Shields or the Sentinel Shield guarding, any damage blocked will convert into super energy, although this is being changed next season, where the Unbreakable Shield will convert damage into grenade energy. The super is going to be the same. It is a very handy one, especially if you are in a raid scenario or just are planning on taking a lot of damage from the front. The guard is really effective at healing. I would definitely recommend this for like master or grandmaster level content. The next is the Getaway Artist, which if you have been paying attention to builds since Prismatic has dropped, this is pretty much a go-to when it comes to Prismatic Warlock. What it does is basically converts an Arc Grenade into an Arc Soul and becomes amplified. Your Arc Soul functions as an autonomous turret, which I forget if this is actually definitive and it has to be an Arc Grenade, but you could also run anything, well actually I think you could just use the Arc Grenade and also run the, the Bleak Watchers in combination and have both a offensive and defensive turret essentially. There is a exotic Cipher available where the class items usually would be, so in case you wanted to get an extra Cipher from the store this week, it is now here. Now into his more offers, or I should say into the more strange offers, the Ascendant Alloy is here in case you want to buy 2 for 71 coins, a variety of enhancement cores, Glimmer, and Crucible engrams in case you really don't feel like playing Crucible at all. And into the gear, there is a few options. Then Hawkmoon, Hipfire Grip, which considering what this is, and it's all functioning around precision hits, maybe not so good this one, but at the same time, Arrowhead Break for recoil control and handling, Alloy Mag as usual, and Polymer Grip for more handling. It's definitely a quick on the draw, if only the hipfire was actually, effective or consistent. Next is the Monte Carlo, which if you had any sort of melee-centered build, this might be the first thing you thought about adding to it, because basically as it deals damage, it is an auto rifle that will generate your melee energy as it deals damage, with a random chance on a defeat to fully recharge your melee. In addition to that, it does have a kind of Markov chain version, or a different version of Swashbuckler. Melee kills will reload it, and getting melee kills will get it to max stacks of the damage bonus. In addition to its catalyst, that is a pretty nifty one where you can consume all 5 of the Markov chain stacks and make it to a uber powerful melee with this bayonet on the front that will also refund your melee energy. Next is the Borealis, which is actually going to be getting changed a little bit next season. I forget exactly how, but essentially most of this detail is going to be changed. What it is an aggressive frame sniper that can rotate its element. It can rotate between Void, Arc, and Solar, and it does have a nifty anti-shield perk where Breaking Combatant Shield will refill, and if it breaks a matching elemental shield, it will additionally grant you a damage buff. So it is a pretty good weapon. The problem is it hasn't really been useful since, match game was decreased and the need for matching elemental weapons kind of went down. It is still a solid weapon though, all in all. Then next is the meme of the weapon, the Wardcliff Coil, which is basically Eyes of Tomorrow, but you can't control where the rounds go. It's kind of, again, a meme weapon in PvE. In PvP, it's a bit of a troll, or I would say a cheese, because you just spray this and it seems like any of the rockets will kill anyone as long as they hit near. But then the catalyst itself, in addition, makes it so that the tracking is supposedly better, but we have no way of telling that. And the kind of nifty perk on it is a weird autoloader, where when you pick up ammo, you will automatically reload, but it doesn't reload when it's stowed on your back doing this. So you literally have to be holding it and pick up the ammo. So It's one downside, and definitely an exotic I think nowadays could use a refresh or a rework in some form to benefit it, bring it back to the spotlight. Next, in terms of our legendary weapons, rolling through it, we have the Adaptive Frame Kinetic Dire Promise Hand Cannon, a nifty one for speed loaders. The Whispering Slab, which is going to be getting a refresh next season, so if you like this one and don't like the roll, get ready, there's going to be a refresh on it. The first in, last out, the classic old double slug shotgun, or the double slug meta frame that I would definitely recommend not getting this roll because, you know, it's just not necessary. But if you want to get a solid one, there is options. And then the Pleiadius Corrector, a lightweight solar scout rifle. There isn't much to say about it, but rolls like Subsistence and Sympathetic Arsenal are kind of pointless. Next is the Interference 6, which is a solid grenade launcher all in all. The problem is it is quite outdated, and even though once upon a time Field Prep and Full Court might have been a good roll, it doesn't really last long in the perspective eye of other grenade launchers. Then there is a sword that most people can ignore, and the usual old class swords in case you want some solid rolls there. And wrapping it all up, we do have the classic Menagerie armor for the various classes. With that is everything Xur has to offer in his store. As usual, be sure to arrive and get here before next Tuesday and pick up what you need, just in case, because you have no idea when some of this stuff might become available again, especially the time-limited catalysts that are possibly not dropping anywhere else but Xur. With that, my name is the Mad Scorpion, and I will see you in the next video.